Okay, welcome all everybody to this irrigation engineering subject code 1615505. The lecture is on the canals and the contents of the lecture are the cross drainage works, their different types, the canal faults, cross regulators and canal outlets. Okay. Okay, now we are going to see about the definition of cross drainage work. Okay, I am going to explain you what is a cross drainage work. Actually, if you want to divert the water from the reservoir or a river which is flowing continuous to the irrigation land nearby, you cannot you cannot do it like manually or you cannot do it easily. Okay, you should construct a cross drainage work. Okay, you should construct a cross drainage work or a canal head regulator or a diversion head in order to divert your water towards the irrigation land. Okay, now we are going to see about the concept on cross drainage work. Okay, actually this cross drainage work alters the flow. Okay, alters the flow of the stream and it automatically changes the direction or the path of flow of water to the next canal which is nearby, which is going to connect to your irrigation land. Okay, so the definition goes by like this. Okay, a cross drainage work is a hydraulic structure which needs to be constructed at a crossing of a natural stream and an irrigation channel following normally at right angles underneath or over the stream. Actually, you are going to construct this underneath or over the stream. Okay, could you understand that? Actually, this cross drainage work will be seen in dams. Okay, actually you can particularly see in dams the place will be like connected with the bridge and there will be a regulator head will be there. I will show you in the pictures of how the cross drainage work will be. Okay, now we are going to see about the functions of cross drainage works. Dividing one stream into another stream, yeah, as I told in the first point, and changing the alignment of the canal, as I told in the previous first point itself, so that it crosses below the junction of two streams. Okay, I will show you the picture. Okay. Okay, in this picture you can visually see what is a cross drainage work and how it looks like. Actually, as the definition says, the cross drainage work will be over the stream or beneath the stream. Okay, here you can see a series of boats are going across the upper portion of the bridge. Okay, these are the cross drainage works which are at the down portion. The water will flow like this side and you can see the upper stream is being separated from the lower stream. So the definition is proved. Okay, and you can see in the second picture there are some sluice gates like arrangement in the canal. These cross drainage works are present on the top. Okay, these are the cross drainage works. Okay. Okay, now we are going to see the necessity of cross drainage works. Actually, the first point says that the watershed canals do not cross natural drainages. Okay, what does this line means that if suppose there is a watershed canal, natural watershed canal is there, and it does not cross natural drainages. Natural drainages means the branches of rivers. Okay, it does not cross that. Okay, but in the actual orientation of the canal network, this ideal condition may not be available. Okay, actually if you are going to see practically this the first line does not applicable to the second line, that the ideal condition. Okay, and the obstacles like natural drainages may be present across the canal. Okay, it is practically like natural drainages will be continuously there, so the cross drainage works must be provided for running the irrigation system. Okay, then suppose if you are seeing a natural elevation where the watershed is being there and from where actually the streams are originating and actually going continuously, and these natural drainages do not be like going in a straight path or they are going to be in a zigzag path. Okay, so you cannot transfer the water towards your irrigation land, so cross drainage works are necessary. Okay, then the second point says that at the crossing point the water of the canal and the drainage get intermixed. So for the smoother running of the canal with its design, the discharge, the cross drainage works are required. Okay, suppose there are two canals flowing in a merging, like they are merging means. So this is called as the crossing point. Okay, at this point, so these two have to be mixed. So in order to prevent that, the cross drainage works are required. Okay, so for the smooth running, actually only for smooth running and a good discharge to be given to the particular irrigation land. So this type of cross drainage works are adopted. Okay. Then third point, the site condition of the crossing point may be such that without any suitable structure the water of the canal and drainage cannot be diverted to their natural direction. So cross drainage works are provided. As I said in the second point, they get intermixed. So in order to prevent that, we are providing the cross drainage works. Okay. Okay, we are going to see about the types of cross drainage works. Okay, first one, the cross drainage works are classified on the basis of their relative bed levels. Okay, that means that suppose there will be an upper part. Okay, in the diagram that is previously shown, no, the live diagram, there the series of boats are being moving. No, at that picture you can see there will be an upper stream which is flowing continuously, and there will be a downstream which is flowing continuously. So in order to prevent the intermixing and the flow path to be like correct, we are adopting the cross drainage work. Okay, so the types are being classified based upon their bed levels. Okay, so we are going to see in the type 1, the irrigation canal passes over the drainage. Okay, actually the first example, that is the in the slide you can see, no, that a series of boats they are going, no, that is the first type. Okay, and I'm going to explain what is in the first type. Okay, there are several components. If you are going to construct a cross drainage work, these components to be constructed first. Okay, first one is the aqueduct, the hydraulic structure in which irrigation canal is passing over the drainage is known as aqueduct. Okay, the irrigation canal is passing over. Okay, it's passing the drainage portion over that. Okay, drainage canal is different from our irrigation canal. Okay, this structure is suitable when bed of canal is above the highest flood level of drainage. Okay, in this case the drainage water passes clearly below the canal. Okay, the irrigation canal is on the upstream, the up portion, upper portion, and the in the down portion the drainage water is going to pass in their drainage canal. Okay. Okay, in this diagram you can see the canal which is going on the like in the upper portion, which is the irrigation canal, and in the down portion you can see piers which are being constructed, and you can see the pillar which is separating that, and you can see the bank of stream. Okay, and you can see the the maximum high flood line. Okay, and the stream which is flowing continuously, and you can see the rectangular trough like portion which is the canal. Okay. Okay, the advantages of the type 1, that is you may see, no, the type 1 where the irrigation canal passes over the drainage. Okay, the advantage for that is the canal running perennially is above ground and is open to inspection. Okay, you can continuously watch your canal flow. Okay, if there is any problem you can repair that, and damage done by flood is rare. Okay, since the canal is at a high level which is above the flood. Okay, yeah, that is the first point there I have mentioned in the previous slide. Okay. Okay, the type 2 is the drainage passes over the irrigation canal. Okay, in this type you can see clearly that the canal is at the down portion, and the up portion that drainage is being passing through. Okay. Okay, in the type 2 we are going to see about the drainage passes over the irrigation canal. Okay, in the first type we have seen about the irrigation canal passes over the drainage. Okay, and we have seen the components, the aqueduct about which it is being constructed while we are constructing that first type. Okay, in the second type we are going to see about 3 different types of constructions that are made to make the type 2 possible. Okay, the first one is the super passage. Okay, I am going to explain about super passage. The super passage is a hydraulic structure in which the drainage is passing over the irrigation canal. Okay, and this structure is suitable when the bed level of drainage is above or over the flood surface level of the canal. Okay, the water of the canal passes clearly below the drainage. Okay, you can see the picture for your reference. Okay. Okay, the second construction we have to do for this type 2 to be possible is siphon super passage. Okay, this is a hydraulic structure in which the drainage is taken over the irrigation canal, water passes below the drainage and the siphonic action. Okay, the siphon is the super passage. Okay, you know what is a siphon? Okay, you can see in the down portion like there is a trapezoidal shape like formation below. Okay, this is the siphon. You may have known about the siphon tube, no? that similar tube like construction only it has been made here also. Okay, this structure is suitable when the bed level of the drainage is below the full supply level of the canal. Okay, actually bed level is below the full supply level. Okay, understand that. Okay. Okay, third one is the canal siphon. Okay, if two canals cross each other and one of the canal is siphoned under the other, then hydraulic structure at crossing is called as canal siphon. Okay, I'm going to explain you clearly about this point. Actually, when you are considering two canals are crossing over each other, on the top portion a canal is crossing and in the down portion a canal is crossing, and one of the canal is siphoned. Okay, siphoned means that the siphon tube like formation. In the previous slide we have I have shown like trapezoidal formation below the pier. You can see that for your reference. Actually the type is either constructed on the up portion or in the down portion. Okay, for example, lower Jalam in our India, lower Jalam canal is siphoned under Rasul Quadribad link canal. Okay, for your reference you can see the picture. Okay, in net. Okay, the advantage of this type 2 is that cross drainage works are less liable to damage than the earthwork of canal. Okay. Okay, this is the type 3 where the drainage and canal intersection are at the same level. Okay, in this type you can see the canal water is mixing with the drainage water in this picture. Okay, there is no separation. You can clearly see there are no separations. Okay. So actually you are going to adopt the type 3 means you are going to go through this level crossing type of construction. Okay. Here in the third type, as I explained, the two streams are going to be intermixed. Okay. The drainage, main drainage and the main canal are going to be intersected. So you are going to construct three different structures or components in this level crossing. Okay. The first one is the crest wall and the second one is the drainage regulator and the third one is the canal regulator. Okay, actually the first one, crest wall, is provided across the drainage. Okay, the drainage, you consider if the drainage is flowing on the up portion, then the crossing point is considered to be the up portion. Okay, the upstream side. The top level of the crest wall is kept at full supply level. Okay, if you are going to open your canal, it should be at full supply level. Okay, and the second point, the drainage regulator. Okay, for example, in the fourth slide, if you go and see the picture, the second picture represents the drainage regulator, where you can see a continuous series of gates. Okay, actually these gates are opened when the water is at going to go in the drainage at the downstream side. Okay, downstream side of the crossing point. Okay, then the third one is the canal regulator. Okay, it is similar to the drainage regulator. Okay, in the fourth slide you can see the same example too. You can see in this downstream portion, suppose the canal is going to run, means the canal regulator will be there. Okay, fine. Okay, we are going to see about the inlet and outlet of this concept. Okay, of cross drainage works. In the crossing of small drainage with small channel, no hydraulic structure is constructed. Okay, actually, small drainages and small channels are tend to flow in a elevation that they will move in a gravity. Okay, so they do not require any hydraulic structures. Okay, there will be simple openings will be provided for the flow of water in their respective direction under gravity. Okay, so you may not use like a cross drain. Most like big cross drainage works are like adaptive methods for mechanical allowance of water through like cross head regulators or like any drainage regulators. You can just adopt a simple method of passing of water under gravity at a elevation in such a way that your water is going to flow freely without any disturbance. Okay, and the second point, it is not necessary for the number of inlets and outlets to be same. Okay, you can provide any number of inlets and outlets. So there will be like a 2 or 3 inlets. Okay, it's your wish. If you are going to construct the cross drainage work, then the canal inlet is constructed when the cross drainage flow is small and its water may be absorbed into the canal without causing any appreciable rise. Okay, what does this point means that if your canal inlet is constructed when the cross drainage flow is small. Okay, if your cross drainage like you are going to construct the cross drainage below. Okay, not in the upstream, you are going to construct in the down portion, means your cross drainage flow is also small or it is very low. It then water may be absorbed into the canal without causing appreciable rise. Okay, it is going to flow freely without causing any appreciable rise. Okay. Okay, the site selection for our drainage crossing is based upon the 4 points. Okay, such that first point mentions that if you are going to pass your canal water without any disturbance, then the water shall reach the drainage channel in such a way that it should be like free to flow. Okay, there should be no disturbances. Okay, so the drainage crossing is being adapted based upon that. Then second one is the suitable foundation soil should be available, okay, at reasonable depth. Okay, the third one is sufficient headway or the portion where you are going to place the inlet should be in such a way that the superstructure of the aqueduct over the hydraulic flow line of the natural stream should be available. Okay, then fourth one is suitable existing topography, geological and hydraulic conditions should be available at reasonable cost for the construction of our cross drainage work. Okay, fine.